What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to SteveBussaGS. I am finally, long overdue, being joined on the channel by the one, the only Tochi. What is going on, my guy? How you feeling today?
I'm all right. How are you today?
I'm tired. It's been a week, my guy. Whose idea was it to fucking record on fucking New Year's Eve? This was a terrible plan.
What was your idea?
Look, I have a lot of them. They're not all good. It's okay to tell me no once in a while.
Nah, it's good. Let's go.
Let's go, man. So here's the whole point of this for everybody that's tuning in. If you guys don't know, we rolled out the docu-series Up and Coming. Up and Coming is a passion project of mine where I wanted to go into different areas that we cover on hip hop on the channel. Grab 5 guys that we feel like are just super talented but super underrated, unknown right now, and just kind of like put a spotlight on them and allow them to tell their own stories on what it's like being an up and come artist from where they're from. We were able to pull it off in Nigeria to be the flagship project. Only because Tochi was able to come through, put together cats that were fucking incredibly talented, have the rapport, have the A&R skills to know who is actually worth giving the spotlight to versus who still needs time to develop. And I want to be on record in front of everybody of saying, like, I'm so fucking thankful for you, that my guy. Like just none of this stuff happens without you. And for those who don't know, like if you only see the timeline banter, I want you to know I don't fuck with people that I don't love on the timeline. If you see me messing with somebody and talking shit on the timeline, it's absolutely love, except for Kenny Will. If you see me messing with Tochi, like it's just because like that's the relationship. Like my man started in the gulag. He was blocked on the channel. Like that was it. He was the opposite of GSGang. My man was gulag. Like he's out of here. And like legit, like after getting to know him, and you know, he put a word in with me with Alpha Genie is how our relationship first started. And it all kind of like grew from there, you know what I'm saying? And I'm really appreciative of the relationship that we've come to have. And I don't want anybody that watches my stuff and things like the docu-series to ever think that it's just me on the other side making these things possible. Because without the work, the effort, and the knowledge and insight that you have with Nigerian hip hop, bro, none of this stuff happens. So thank you fucking very much for everything. It was super dope.
No problem. I did for you.
And now hold on, I gotta clip something real quick because this is like they're nauseated right now. They're livid. Like their comments are gonna be lighting up. So this is gonna be the whole. I gotta clip something, right? How I gotta spin this. All right. I got it. You ready? All right. So look, this. Get the scene right. Get the scene right. I want everybody to know that, like, Tochi, like, you are literally an inspiration. For you to be able to put things together when you don't have any talent, any skill, any type of insight, like you've never actually done anything in the industry yourself. The fact that you are still just a regular, everyday person with nothing going for you at all in the world and still able to put this together, Doug, you are inspirational. You inspire millions. That'll be the clip that we put out. Everybody will click now. Now everybody's gonna be in. Bro, this was fun, man. This was fun. But yeah, like I want to just give kind of like a behind the scenes and shit like that. Like there's a lot of work that went into this, regardless if you can tell or not. In the final product, there was a lot of work that went into this, and this is like a behind the scenes is what this is. This conversation is just to bring the GSGang up on everything, man. So what was it like from your side? How was everything, you know what I mean, from your perspective of the organization, putting it together, trying to get all the time zones with all the interviews lined up and shit like that? Like
the major problem we had was trying to get everybody on the same schedule because of the time zones. We have different time zones. So, and then apart from time zones, you're a busy guy. You have times when you're busy, you have your free times, and then also we have times when we're free and when we're busy. So the time zones did not align, and then our schedules also did not really align. So it took weeks, like a couple of weeks, more than a couple of weeks, months. It took months for everything to come together. I mean, look at me and you. Originally, it wasn't supposed to be this. It was supposed to happen differently, and then we decided to, when the scope of the interview series changed, we decided for me to come last and just summarize everything. But then before now, it was kind of getting everybody on board was kind of tough. And then apart from even the time zones and all that, some people had electricity issues. I won't mention names, but yeah.
Any problem that could have happened while trying to get this project together absolutely happened. It was one of those one thing after another thing.
Yeah, so many things.
It was so originally, he's right, it wasn't supposed, the way that the docuseries looks now is not the way that it was supposed to look even from its inception. The idea was to have it be like a movie, literally a 2 hour flick from beginning to end, professionally edited and everything like that. And then we recorded over 5 hours worth of footage with these cats, and just to find out that we couldn't get it professionally edited because of lighting issues, because sound like Sirius's John sound like it was recorded in a subway, the audio and it was one thing after another. So the best thing we could do was chop it up the way that we did to still get the product out to everybody and still let their voices be heard and still push the idea, push the agenda. You know what I mean? So it was really fucking dope to see it all come together. What was the the morality on that side? Do you think everybody was genuinely excited about it, or were people apprehensive? What was the vibe on your side?
Okay, on our side, I think, everybody was excited. The 5 of them. I mean, before now, they had been fans of your channel before now, and I'm very sure the first time they were on your channel, they didn't expect that in a couple months or in a couple years they would appear on the channel. They went there as fans of hip hop, and then right now it's where they are. So we're very, very excited to do this with you, and then it's also it's a good medium for more people to get to know them, expands their audience and fan base. So we're pretty much excited.
I'm fucking hyped about it. It might not look the prettiest right now. I did all of the editing myself, and I'm not good at editing. So it might not be the prettiest thing right now, but getting it out was super fucking important. How did you feel? Be honest with me. Did you watching the docuseries, watching it back? Do you think that we did a good job with the material that we had?
Yeah. You did your best with what you had. Yeah.
What were the highlights? What do you think was good? Give me the good, the bad, the ugly. What should we have did differently? What do you think was done well? What can we improve on? You know what I'm saying, going forward?
If we're looking for improvements, I think it won't be from your end. It has to come from us. Because I watched I watched that shit, and bro, the lighting wasn't, for some of them, it was really, really bad. This guy,
as he said, the fact that your fucking screen just fucking froze as you said that is so iconic. Oh, that's fucking great.
How's it now? How is it now? Is it okay?
You're good now. We're good. We're good now. You're good now. Yeah. You're good now. You're caught up. That was absolutely chef's kiss. That was perfect. Oh, this is fantastic. You're fucking crazy. So all right. So the video quality, obviously, the audio quality and shit like that. I think I was actually
going forward. I think if we're going to do this again, or with other people that are going to be doing this, I think you should make sure that
this is fucking
quality
amazing.
is very, very good before you decide to put it out. So you tell these guys why you laugh? You tell these guys that, okay, this is the standard. This is what I want you guys to do before I agree to put this out on my channel. So you should know that, okay, yes, the interview is on so day, the interview is on this day. So this day I should have the best network, I should have the best lighting, I should have the best audio, even if it's to borrow audio equipment and lighting and all that, they should do that. So, but then when it comes to the editing and the finishing touches, I think that side is cool.
Some behind the scenes info too, just so you guys know. And like this, I told Sirius this. Obviously, that's the biggest issue was the audio quality from Sirius's clips and versions of that. I was actually like the people who work with me on my team and the guys on Fiverr who I was trying to hire to do the video editing. Just so you guys know, I want to document it. Like they said that we might even be able to pull it off if we cut out all of Sirius's parts, you know, entirely, left him off of it. Then we might have been able to put it together. And I made the decision on our end that it was more important that like when I was talking to him, right, and like obviously we couldn't tell that there was the audio issues while I was having the conversation with him. Like the conversation was so good, that kind of so insightful, and like the gems he was dropping were just so fucking good. I was like, man, I would be doing everybody a disservice if I didn't at least like try to get it out there for those who are willing to fucking listen. You know what I mean?
It was a good conversation. Yeah. Yeah.
And like again, he seemed really appreciative of it too. He said himself, like he'd have been real disappointed if that shit ended up getting cut out entirely. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
I stand by my decision, even though I'm not thrilled about the quality of it. You know what I mean? Overall, it's definitely not how I envisioned it. I think that there's value in showing the learning process. You know what I mean? Like this is not going to be a fucking Hollywood documentary the first time I'm ever trying to do some of that shit. You know what I mean?
It's not Netflix standard.
Yeah, but like I said, I do think that there's value. Like if you guys like, if someone's watching this, there's two things that could happen, right? If you're watching this, someone could look at this and be like, "Yo, this is a dope idea, but this guy sucks at it. I can go and do this way better. I got the budget and the equipment." Then that might inspire somebody to then put more shine on cats, and they take the idea and run with it, right? Like, or number two, like somebody else could see it and be like, "Man, I don't have good equipment and shit either." If he's still able to go and put this out, you know what I'm saying, regardless, and still put the effort in to get the names out and shit like that, that could inspire somebody else just to get started. And you never know what that could lead to. Like, there's no way I can know that the channel was going to get where it got to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And then the
fucking
future editions of this series will definitely be better than this. So you're building, gets better.
Yeah. What were your takeaways? Were there anybody's takes that you were surprised about?
Okay. The first one, I think maybe the only one that surprised me was Serious. You asked him about what was it? I think you asked for the major problems, right, that he faces, that underground or up and coming artists face in Nigeria. And one of the things he said was that when you reach out to guys to offer services, all they want is money. Like these guys, they should be paid for the services they are rendering. So if they're not paid, how is it business for them if you expect them to do stuff for free? So yeah, I think the problem now comes when it's kind of valid, but it's not valid. He was coming from a point of pain, I think, because like these guys, it's business for them. This is what they are supposed to do. We offer you the service and you pay us money for it, right? But then you now want me to offer you the service for free. How do I get paid? How do I eat? How do I feel to believe in you, like grow with you? It's not everybody that wants to grow with you. It's not everybody that wants to grow with you. So the guys that need to be paid, you pay them. The guys that don't want to be paid, fine, you grow with them. But those ones that need to be paid, you have to give them their money. You shouldn't be entitled to, what's not yours. It's not yours.
Facts. I agree. I think it was definitely insightful. And again, the idea of the questions wasn't like that. I think that any individual was right or wrong about stuff. I disagreed with some of the takes. I agreed with some of them, but the idea was like, man, it doesn't matter what I give a fuck about. The idea was like, let them tell their own stories, get their perspectives. And then like in an ideal scenario, I get my equipment up and stuff like that in 2023. And the idea was then to do a second part of the series where we get some of the OGs on here to then respond to the takes that the up and coming cats had about the industry, about labels, about artist responsibility, right? And then hear them give like advice from a perspective of somebody who's made it. You know what I'm saying? To put that out there. like I talked about this is another thing when it came to like putting the docuseries out or not. You know what I mean? Once there was the audio quality issues and shit where it was like I was hyping this up every time. I was talking about this all the time. Like I had the interview with Jags, I had the interview with Simos, I had the interview with MI. I was like hyping this up to the big guys so that I could be like, yo, check these cats out. You know what I'm saying? That are gonna be up and coming, and you know what I mean? Like I want you guys to respond to them. So it was like, man, if I don't do this, if we don't pull this together, if we don't do this looks like I was just fucking talking shit this whole time. Like no one's gonna believe me that it was out of my hands. I was like, yo, and like we really gotta like crunch down and get this knocked out. And then the rollout, don't even the rollout was incredible on fucking Twitter that day, my guy. Should we
I remember the tweets.
should I get into that? Is that part of the documentary? Do you think that's worth talking about?
Yeah. It's still behind the scenes now. We can't
All right. So we had the plan. The plan was always to do the music reactions on the channel first, so that the overall audience had a frame of reference. Once they had like docuseries comes out, you see, you know, Isa's right there. He's like, oh, this cat seems like intelligent. He's putting this shit together really good. Let's go see what the music sounds like. That the reactions are the last thing that were on the channel, so they have a frame of reference, right? So that was always the plan, was to do the reactions, get them hyped up all over the timeline, and then do the docuseries so that people can go and reference the music afterwards.
My niece.
So what's happening is crunch time comes around and I'm editing for 10 hours straight. And while I'm editing, I'm cutting out like a whole bunch of fucking gems. Like if you guys look at how good some of the takes were that actually made the docuseries, there were takes that were just as good that didn't make it. And I tried to start tweeting them out to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a lot of love that got shown to a lot of artists. There was a lot of influence that was very evident in some of the conversations. So like one of the ones that I tweeted out was about MI. And it was like, man, so many of these conversations all end up coming back to people being like, damn, like MI was like responsible for getting me into hip hop to begin with. And the actual clip was like, it wasn't the American guys that got me into hip hop. It was our guys and shit like that. And I was like, I gotta put this out. I was like, this is so thorough. Like the timeline will always tweet violence. I was like, yo, we got to put the good shit out too. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to put like the parts that you don't see that's positive. So if you guys weren't outside when this happened, MI ends up seeing it, retweets it out, and then says something along the lines of like, yo, we got to get you up to the hip hop event. Huge shout out to Genius. Huge shout out to the whole hip hop event, Battle Rap Africa. It's super fucking dope. And he's like, yo, we got to get him out here to this. And I was hyped. I was like, yeah, let's go. I was excited about it. And the timeline went fucking crazy. There were people who were dissatisfied, we'll say, with M's decision to extend the invitation. What I'm busy trying to push these clips for the docuseries to like get everybody to focus on the fucking artist on the timeline, and violence just erupts everywhere all over the shit. And I'm trying to do fucking damage control at this point. So let's address that too. Like, yo, huge shout out to the GSGang. I'm never gonna shy away from any type of weirdo accusations or narratives that get painted about me. I want to make that very clear. Like when you say that you fuck with the GSGang, I want you to be able to stand 10 toes down and know where my stance is and know what it is that is being represented, and that you're never going to be misrepresented. You know what I'm saying? So I'll address it. I ended up blocking everybody. Don't get me twisted. I'm very big on fucking curating your timeline. Keep your peace. You know what I'm saying? Like if you dislike me, that's none of my business. Your opinion of me is none of my business. I don't need to read it. I don't need to see it. Like go on and like hate me all you want. That shit's valid. You know what I mean? Run with it. But I will address the two things that I read about myself, so that the gang knows where I stand on it. And you know, I make this very clear. So the first thing that I read was the conversation was that the positive thing is that I'm putting African hip hop in a spotlight to 30,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. And the accusation was that for some reason, I don't want to put words in someone's mouth, but this is the way that this is my interpretation, was that I was being insulted because part of my 30,000 subscribers were people on the scene in African hip hop, right?
Yeah.
And that's somehow, if I had 30,000 subscribers before I ever discovered hip hop outside of America, that those 30,000 subscribers would somehow be more valuable than having fans of African hip hop be part of my 30,000 subscribers. And that's fucking mind-boggling to me. Like, so let me just make this very clear, Doug. I am proud of all of my viewership. If all 30,000 of my subs were just on my block, I would be just as happy and thankful as if all 30,000 were just from some hood in a country that I've never heard of before. Like, there's no, like, you cannot devalue viewership because of where they live. That's so fucking, that's weird. Like, could you imagine the other way around? Could you imagine if I was like, oh, I wish I had fucking American subscribers instead, not these fucking, like, what? Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to respond to that. So, like, here's my stance. Just if you guys are wondering, I love you. And I there's no one person that's more valuable to me or more valuable to any of these artists. Like if you are gonna go and check my channel out to discover new hip-hop artists, I don't give a fuck where you live. I salute you and I welcome you into the GSGang because we want these cats to get more eyes on them, right? And then the second accusation that I read was the narrative is always what Steve has done for hip hop in Africa and not what African hip hop has done for Steve. Now, my knee-jerk reaction is that I challenge you to find a single instance, a single tweet, a single comment, a single video, a single interview where I have said anything remotely close to that. But I'll stop you there. I'm not going to make you do the homework. I will make my stance very clear on this right now. All right? I am forever a fan. That's it. Hip hop has done more for my life than I will ever have the opportunity to give back. If I could do anything with this channel to help out any artist, regardless of where they're from, then I consider that invaluable. My stance has always been this. My definition of success when it comes to the channel, since that was part of the docuseries, and you can check my tweets, they date back. I've been saying this forever. You can check the timeline. I will consider myself successful if by the end of my career with this YouTube shit, if I'm ever able to give back to the culture more than I've gained from it. I have gained an invaluable amount of self-value, of family, of relationships, of music, like therapy, like Jesus Christ. If I have ever come across as ungrateful to what hip-hop inside or outside of America or anything like that has ever done, then you're just not paying attention, or I apologize for not making it abundantly clear what my stance is on that. I do not value my opinion more than anyone else's except Kenny Wills, and I never will. The idea is to bring everybody together. Like, I end every single video with, do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know why. Like, let's have a conversation. Because even if you hate me, even if you're telling me that I'm wrong, you're still talking about the music. And that buzz of talking about the music, even when they say, Steve dislikes so-and-so song, he's a fucking idiot. So-and-so song was amazing. The timeline is now talking about that song. The timeline is now going to go and listen to that song and make their own opinions of it. Like, that's the whole point of this, right? And I'm also on record by saying the GSGang is infinitely more valuable than I am, right? There was only one time that my opinion mattered more than the GSGangs did. And that was when I had 0 subscribers, because I was the only opinion that was there. When I got my first subscriber, my opinion mattered exactly as much as the GSGangs did. Since I got my second subscriber, my opinion has never been more valuable than that of the collective. Like, I'm only one person. My opinion is only that of one person. You feel me? So, like, that's always been my stance. And look at my comment sections. You guys are responsible for the translations. You guys are responsible for educating me on who's who, educating me on the history, educating me on the colloquialisms and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I can read Pidgin English almost perfectly because of the fucking the timeline. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't do that. That's y'all. And like, that's the real value that I bring, is everybody else's opinion that comes along with my viewership, not mine. So first and foremost, if you're one of those people, You can suck my dick from the back, you fucking backwards weirdos, right? It's on site, fuck you. But I hope that sheds some light and clarification on where I stand with things, because I'm never going to allow somebody to take this hard work, take the effort, and take the love that I have for this shit and turn it into something ugly. You feel me?
Yeah.
So all of that happened while I'm trying to roll out the docu-series. I got all this fucking shit all over the timeline, and I'm like, guys, can we fucking look over here, please? Like, look, like, check out these fucking clips. I'm not trying to get into these arguments, dog. And that's the other thing. Yo, the GSGang decided to fucking ride that day. And like, I handle negativity way more than way better than I handle praise. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to people being like, fuck you, suck. Like, I'm a battle rapper. Like, I'm used to the negativity. That's how we talk. That's how we communicate. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Bro, I was emotional. I got real emotional when I seen all these motherfuckers coming to just say positive things about me and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, it was a lot. And like leading into the rollout and like being like, what the fuck have you ever done? And I'm like, I'm literally in the process of trying to get you guys a fucking docu-series to check out new fucking talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. It was a rough rollout, but we got it done. You know what I mean? I'm
so
done
one thing I want to add is this is MI that we're talking about, right? MI was the cause of the whole thing. So there are people that like MI, and then for some reason, some people genuinely do not like MI. Then you now have Vector fans, right? So those guys that started that discussion on that MI's tweets, they are Vector fans. I know them. Like we are mutuals. We've had all this, front and backs. Whatever MI does, they're never in support of it. They're always trying to find the problem in anything MI does. You get. So most of the time when I see these things when I see this guy replying, okay, whatever this guy does, these people come on.
All right, hold on. You started breaking up. Just bring like your last sentence back. You're frozen.
Oh, yeah. So I said at this point, I'm like, whenever MI talks, these guys will always be there to say these things. So we don't always have to start rushing to say, okay, no, this is what it means. This is what MI is trying to do. This is what MI. Because look at, for instance, that guy said, I know him, we're mutuals. There are two of them. I don't want to mention names, but yeah. So the guy said, that what have you done that every other person is not doing right now, that the Nigerian guys are not doing. That the same reaction they are doing is what these other Nigerian reactors are doing, and then like bloggers and all that, but MI doesn't, give them the kind of attention that he's giving you. And I'm like, guy, you mentioned somebody who's that genius, right? The same genius you mentioned is the same person MI is working with for this hip-hop event. Like, you yourself, you're not even doing your assignment. Do your fucking assignment before you come and point fingers. I'm gonna
take that a step further, my guy. Go to my channel. I have an interview with the genius as he was starting his reaction channel of me trying to give him all the sauce of the things that were working for me. You can go, it's documented that I have interviews with Shanti, who is a fucking incredible reactor, doesn't even do music reactions anymore, who I was doing collaborations with, where he was translating fucking hip hop that was in other languages for me so that I could better understand it.
I remember.
Bro, like absolutely go support these cats. You will never be able to put me against any of these because I want them all to win. And as far as the Vector shit goes, like I don't know how many times I have to say this. If I had a button and someone said, if you press this button, Vector will get $100 million and his family will be able to eat for the rest of his life, I would press it twice. There's no part of me that wants to see any of these people be unsuccessful. I have love for everybody that is supporting the hip hop culture in any way, shape, or form. If you're mad because I disliked a fucking track here and there, or if I made my stance clear on where I stand in a specific beef record, and you think that is somebody's entire personality based on that opinion, you are a fucking idiot. So let me make that perfectly clear. You do not have the mental facilities to have a fucking legit conversation. So like your opinion means nothing. And my stance is that I want Vector to win. My stance is that I want MI to win. I want whoever it is that you see on this channel, I want nothing but like, I wouldn't put them on the channel. There are people that I don't participate in, that I don't fuck with. And guess what? They're not on the fucking channel because that's promotion. That's free promo and shit like that. Like I don't talk about people good or bad that I you know what I mean? Like it's just people, it's so fucking stupid to me. I don't get it. I'm sorry. Keep going. Like I figured I would at least clarify on that. Like, dog, my shit is documented. Like this ain't just hearsay. Like the videos are up. Like, you know what I'm saying? I fuck with these people. When the genius was getting fucking shit left and right from fucking everything, like with the Holyfield, like you have no idea what happens behind the scenes and behind the conversations, and how I go to bat for people and how I try to just get more content. I don't know who's right. I don't know who's wrong. My opinion doesn't matter. I just want to see the shit. Like I just want people to win. But I'm the bad guy. Like I get it. I get it. It is what it is. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think you already made the points. So I think people should just, in as much as you're a fan of one person over the other guy, you should still try to use your senses. Don't allow these things cloud your judgment, and don't allow you think clearly. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah. There was some good came from it. I brought Lord Gem out of the gulag. Yo, you sound that I got. Bro, that shit was hilarious. Did you see Did you see that go down on the timeline? How that transpired?
No, I saw your tweets, but I didn't see
what led up to that.
I didn't see his reply.
I
didn't see his reply. I only saw your tweets. I went back to check, but I still didn't see his reply. Maybe now I'll go again.
It was so it came up. It was somebody who I didn't even know. I ended up following them because it was a good hip hop conversation. And I seen his act because I have him blocked and he had me blocked. So like I was like I seen his act in one of the conversations on the MI thing, and I remembered I did a reaction to one of his songs. It's called like Bombs or something like that.
Yeah,
and like my goal was to react to it and just shit on it and just point out every little thing wrong. And I was like, yo, you want to talk shit on me? Let's go. Oh, you have a song? Let's see what it's really here for. And bro, when that shit was hot, I was so mad.
It's fire, guy.
So like I'm talking on the timeline and I'm like recounting what happened. I was like, this is really funny. Like I took a huge L that day. I had to be like, nah, he's good. Fuck him, he's good. But you know what I mean? And I felt weird about talking about him because I don't like having conversations behind people's backs. So I ended up logging into the Quality Teams account, which is the first time I ever did this to send a message. I logged into the Quality Teams account and I sent him screenshots of the conversation I had about him. And I was like, yo, guy, like I know we got off on the bad foot, XYZ, you know what I'm saying? I just want you to know, like, this is what transpired. This is how I feel about X, Y, and Z. And it was a positive convo. So like we ended up unblocking each other and shit like that. So it's all love now. You know what I'm saying? And that's two of y'all. That's two of y'all. One a year. That's it. One a year. I'm not sure who 2023. We'll bring somebody else out the gulag in 2023. We'll see what happens. There's something you can't deny though, is regardless of what drama happens, even if it's at my expense, by all means, shit on me all over the timeline. I promise I don't give a fuck. But when this shit happens, everybody was talking about the hip hop shit. You can't deny that. Like regardless of if it's at my expense or not, when the shit's going down, everybody was talking about it. And that's more people tapping into shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, it is what it is. Benefits are what it is. Cool. What, you have any questions for me? Any behind the scenes shit that was going down?
Okay, I have one question. Yeah. So we had scheduled this thing like I think 3 or 4 times, and then it didn't work. Sometimes it was from my own end. I'll give you a time, and then that time will come, and I'll tell you, oh, I have something else to do. I'm not available. Like, how did you feel? Did you feel like this guy is not a serious person, or did you actually believe that? Okay, yes, he is.
Nah. I value you as much as I value the MI interview. Like I don't look at it like one thing. Like your time is just as valuable as everybody else's. You know what I'm saying? Like I still like you're an incredible A&R, and the fact that you have these connections and these relationships, and that you're doing shit in the hip hop scene that I wish I was able to do. I wish I was tapped in and able to do the shit that you're doing, dog. I don't think that I am entitled to your time or entitled to have a conversation with you, even. You know what I'm saying? Like, not at all. Like, I've had, like, Barry Lanes, for instance. All right, Barry Lanes no-showed our interview after setting it up, and then ghosted me. Right? I'm still a Barry Lane. Like that doesn't change my opinion on that. Like, Barry's still a fucking monster. Like, I'm still gonna geek out every time that he drops something. I'm still gonna help promo him. Like, Flame is one of my favorite artists in the world, right? You know Flame from South Africa?
Yeah.
Flame is fucking incredible. I listen to his music every day of my life. He's no-showed me twice. I don't have that interview, but I still, like, I wake up and I brush my teeth to the message. Like, I still, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's still, like, my shit. Like, nah, dog, I don't look at this stuff like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm entitled, or that it's a slight to me. Like, if anything, dog, it's a, like, I don't know why people want to fucking talk. Like, I still get geeked out that any of this shit happens at all. Every day when a fucking message comes through and people, I still, you know, I'm still fucking, like, brand new at this shit. I'm like, yo, this is fucking awesome. So no, man, I never looked at any of this stuff as somebody was taking a slight at me personally. Like, life's hard enough. I don't need to add additional fucking hostility to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Then another question. Oh yeah, you're saying something.
No, I'm saying, did you think I was upset? Like, did I say something to make you think that I felt the type of way?
You didn't do anything. You didn't react in any type of way for me to feel like that. But I just felt like that. I don't fuck up. This guy is feeling some type of way.
Nah. It's, trust me. See, mate, and this is the thing. Like, you and I are closer than any of these cats on the timeline are, right? Like, I would feel comfortable. So, like, if you still look at me like that, maybe I'm not doing a good enough job of, like, making my stance clear with shit. Because, like, if that's your opinion of me and we're close, maybe I still need, like, you know, I still got some media training myself that I need to work on, which is 1,000% possible.
It's not about my opinion of you. It's just a general thing now. Even if it's my closest guy, we fixed a particular time that I was supposed to meet, and then that time I'm no show. I mean, I feel some type of way that I offended this guy, and you know, he might not. You know,
I got you. Yeah, but nah, we're Gucci, my guy. I never felt no type of way. Huge shout out to Barry Lanes. Huge shout out to Flame. Huge shout out to everybody else that's no-showed the interviews and shit like that. It's all
and then I remember before you did the interview with MI, you're always talking about it that MI has told you that yes, you guys are going to do the interview, but then there was no date yet, and then you kept hitting him up. I think he wasn't responding or something. Yeah.
No, so
but then
I have a very firm stance. I don't chase people for the interview stuff. Like, I don't ever want to become a nuisance. I don't want to become like you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't ever want my image to be that of somebody who's just, like, hassling people and shit. Like, if you're gonna interview with me on my channel, I want it to be because you want to. Like, I have give you what's the most recent example I could give? Like, Black Bones. So Black Bones' manager ends up hitting me up, right? For the label ends up reaching out to me to do some type of promo and do an interview and X, Y, and Z. And then, like, we would do, like, all right, cool, yeah, I'm down, let me know. And then I would hear nothing. But, like, I don't feel no type of way about it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I'm disappointed because I stand fucking Black Bones. So, and I want the interview, and I want, you know what I'm saying? I'm nothing more than a fucking fan that's geeking out at these fucking opportunities to have this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, no, I didn't harass MI. I sent the message and it sat there for a year.
Yeah. Then he kept telling me. So I got the idea that you kept texting him was because whenever we had the conversation, he was always telling me, "Yo, please tell Steve to be patient. Tell him I'm coming. We're going to do that interview. We're going to do that interview." So I just assumed that this guy keeps texting MI. This guy is disturbing MI for the interview, and that's why MI is telling me to, you know, tell him to calm down.
Nah, it was dude, it was all love. I knew about MI and his tendencies when it comes to doing shit at a much later date from back when I was first introduced to him by Stoke. Like Stogie T is the one who put me on to MI. Stogie T is the one that put me on. Stogie T put me on to all of Nigeria. I might not still be tapped in today if Stoke didn't push me to expand to other countries for the podcast that we were on. And like he was like, I remember when I first actually made contact with M, and I told Stoke because we covered the Vector beef with MI on the podcast that never came out. I still got the footage of that shit too. So don't one day that might leak, but fucking we covered that on the podcast. So like I told him, and he was like when I told him that I made contact with M, and I was like, oh, this could be like fucking huge, like, you know what I'm saying, like everyone's gonna fucking love this, you know, we're gonna do like a real in-depth conversation. He was like, good. Now tell him to get my fucking verse back or some shit like that. Like tell him to make good when he says he's gonna collab. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I think he has a reputation of taking time to get shit done. And I knew that coming into it. So like never felt no type of way, man. I'm always just, it's my privilege to be in these conversations at all. And I mean that. I'm not just saying that for face value. Like I still geek out when I see fucking messages from cats come across my fucking shit, dog.
And how do you feel? How do you feel talking to this, like having one-on-one conversations with these guys?
I was inspired. I think that I mean it's different for everyone. I'm pretty sure like if we're keeping it a buck, I'm going back and I'm cutting up the footage. I'm pretty sure Meji hates me. And I'm not really sure that A-Strap fucks with me or not. Like it's like their demeanors.
Wait. Why do you think Meji hates you?
So I'm cutting up the. So you have to understand. Like I'm intricately looking at the footage while I'm cutting it up, right? So I'm talking like down to the seconds and shit like that. And if you like, I'm going from a conversation with like Isa and Sirius, where like the vibes are very, very fucking, very apparent, very obvious. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing but love back and forth and shit like that. And then I'm interviewing with Meji, and like I'm trying to cut up piece of it, and I'll be like, "So, what are your thoughts on hip hop in Nigeria?" And he'd be like, "It's good." It's dope. Like now, it's a good chance that like again that could just be like a lack of media training when it comes to like how to conduct the interview and shit like that. Or it could be like, man, I want the exposure for the channel, but I really don't give a fuck about this guy. Like that's the vibe that I got off of it. But like I'm more appreciative. Like, yo, if there is any kind of like a hesitation about shit, I'm more appreciative of the willingness to still do the shit. You know what I'm saying? And it was like you can tell when someone fucks with you and when someone doesn't fuck with you. It's fucking obvious. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it could have been fucking crack ass of dawn or fucking midnight their time. You could be half asleep. Like we had a lot of scheduling issues. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't know what's going on in people's personal lives. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what kind of like attitudes, like what happened to somebody right before they get into an interview. They could be thinking about some other shit. So like I don't feel no type of way about it. But it was definitely like while chopping up the footage and rewatching the stuff back, it's way different than being in the interview in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like little things like that become more apparent when you're watching the footage back. So
right.
like that was
so continue. So that's Meji, then A-Strap, yeah.
Yeah. I think for the other three, I think with Spessy Kingan, I think he's just a timid individual. I don't think like I didn't get that I don't want to be here vibe when I was interviewing him, but I did feel like every time I asked him a question, I was putting him on the spot. And I was like, my God, you've had these questions for 6 months. like I'm not trying to like fucking spring this on you. So like I tried to handle that conversation with him with, you know what I mean, a little bit more softly, you know what I'm saying? Like try not to, you know, like be too aggressive during, you know, with the back and forths and stuff like that. And then with Isa and with Sirius, I think there was more like, yo, like the vibes that they gave off was like I was talking to my fucking brother. You know what I'm saying? Like I really felt like I was like on White Girl Street kicking it with the homies and shit like that. So like it was a different vibe from everybody, but I do think that people are at different points in their careers with the media stuff, with how to interview, with how to answer questions, with what they want to say and how they want to be represented and shit like that. Like I'm aware that all that stuff, you know what I mean, goes through somebody's head when they're having these conversations. So that's it was inspirational. I think with some of the responses were eye-opening. And overall it was like, man, once I tapped into the music more and shit like that, like these cats are fucking incredible. What did you think? How did what were the vibes that you picked up on that side?
Well, the conversation with Sirius, like, it felt like the two of you were friends, or two of you are friends, and then you were just, doing it on camera, but like you've had a lot of conversations before, and you already have that connection. Then I said, yeah, give that kind of vibe also. And Meiji was cool. I could tell. I saw it.
I bet you don't give a fuck about me. No.
But I assure you, he doesn't have any grievances against you. It's cool. It's just how it is. And I don't think you guys have had any any conversations before that, have you?
I mean, we have, but like light timeline stuff, not like nothing in depth.
Yeah, and then even at that, still not like I know you're serious. I see you guys on YouTube, on Twitter. You guys engage each other a lot. Same thing with Ison. So these other guys, the bond, it's not as strong as what you have with Sirius and Ison. So it takes time. It takes time for these things to, like, you and I, if we had this interview at like the first time the first time we had any interaction, yeah, it won't go this way.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I think one of the things, here's my opinion on specifically with like the Meji situation, is like when it comes to like the reactions and stuff like that, like essentially at its core, between all of them, A-Strap's the only one that really makes music that I listen to. You know what I'm saying? Like Meji stuff is definitely more like it's definitely got like shit you can dance to. Like I don't have any rhythm like that. I'm not his target audience. You know what I'm saying? He talked about it too. Like he talked about like how like getting the female ears like where the value is. Like he was dropping fucking gem still and shit like that. You just went super blurry, man. So like I think it would have been different. You know what I'm saying? If I was like a huge fan coming into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, as of like right now, I'm just appreciative of the fact that these cats are all more talented than me. And the fact that I know that their target audience like really, really fucks with them. You know what I mean? But like I think like A-Strap's the only one that like has that fucking gutter shit that I fucking, you know what I mean? Like he's got like that shit that I like really get into. And like I said, like I'm not good enough of a person to listen to his music. Like he makes music for people who are like good humans. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he sounds like the people who listen to his music like contribute to society in a positive way. And I just don't relate to that. Like I'm just like I'm way too much of a scumbag to be like, this is I wake up and listen to this shit. You know what I mean? Like and then fucking Spessy King and dog, I don't even feel like I should be allowed to listen to that man sing. Like bro, when he opens his mouth, that shit it's otherworldly. Like, what the fuck? Like,
I know that.
It's insane, dog. And then like I'm supposed to be critiquing this shit, and I'm like, I don't even know how to make your boys do that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that man sounds like a one-man choir. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to say to this shit? You know what I mean? Like, so I think that I would be closer with the guys if we picked 5 people who had like nothing but street bars and shit like that to talk to. But I think it's more valuable that people see that you don't have to be any one type of way to get on the channel. You don't have to be any one type of way for me to appreciate your music and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not about my taste. It's about using the channel as a platform to put talented people in front of you so that you can listen to the music and then you can decide whether or not they go on your playlist or not. You know what I'm saying? So like there's value in that in and of itself, in my opinion. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Cool. What do you see? What do you see in the future? Do you think that this was worth the time and effort that went into it? Looking back in hindsight.
Yeah, I think so. You know, everything we do, you know, is one little step towards improvement, towards you know, bigger audience, towards more engagement and all that. So yeah, no matter how, even if at the end of the day is one person views this. We have one person that viewed the 6 episodes. I think also how many? Six and
Nine.
then plus
It was
no,
nine
nine.
of them.
Nine, yeah. So like you have one person that went through the 9 of them. Then we already have a fan. We have one additional fan. And definitely we have more than one guy. So yeah, it's a step.
I agree. It was and like it. The things that I learned on this side are invaluable to the channel. Like what you like doing this with you guys is gonna benefit the next culture that we decide to jump into and shout out. You know what I'm saying? Like huge shout out to Holster from Zambia, right? Holster's basically been doing what you're doing now. Like he's been my plug. He's the OG over there, and like he's been my plug to put me on the fucking incredible cats in Zambia. And it was gonna be either Zambia was going to be the first one or Nigeria was, and you just so happened to get the guys together more quickly than he was able to. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, if I tried to do both of these at the same time, they both would, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like they're going to benefit way more off what I learned on the back end here than if I were to have never done this at all or try to do everything at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So like literally what you guys are doing are helping people that you've never even met yet. And it's like dog, like that's super valuable to me.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other behind the scenes shit? Any things that we wanted to? Oh, wait for him to unfreeze.
I think
you good? You were frozen. I said, is there anything else that you want, like behind the scenes info that you feel like we could give them that would add any value to this?
let me see. I can't think of any right now. You have anything you want to
add? Just the day. It's New Year's Eve here. I appreciate you taking the time out on a holiday to come and kick it with me. I'm sure you'd much rather be drunk and balls deep in some shit right now than fucking sitting here talking to me about a fucking docu-series.
No. I'm a church boy. I'm a church boy. Remember I told you.
Right.
Yeah. So like I'm a church boy.
Oh,
like,
I mean, do you want me to? Do you want me to say on the interview why I don't think that's a thing? Do you want to talk about the fucking?
No, let's not talk about that. I'm just.
Okay. All right. Like I remember the tweets that you made me look at. I remember.
It's
like
okay,
if you want to.
It's okay. We don't need to talk about it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We won't talk
so
about it.
Back to what I'm saying. So I'm a church boy. I mean, I grew up from a good Christian home. I grew up in a good Christian home. Yeah, I'm a Catholic. I mean, I used to be an altar servers, altar boys.
Okay.
You know, altar.
Yeah. I was raised Roman Catholic.
Oh, okay. That's cool. So yeah, I'm like the holiest person you can find around, and so New Year's Eve, there's this thing we do where we gather together as a family and then pray into the new year.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So that's where I'm supposed to be at right now. But I'm doing this with you. So once I'm done, I join them.
I don't want to hold up your conversation with God. That's the last thing that I want to get in between. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no beef with the big man. I'll end with saying this to everybody in the GSGang. It's been a crazy 2022. I hope you guys have the most beautiful fucking New Year's. More life. Take care of your fucking health. Be safe out there. Don't do nothing fucking stupid today. You know what I'm saying? Put your safety first and everything. And like, man, what a fucking year. Next year is gonna be insane. There's a lot of changes. There's a lot of changes happening to the channel next year. So like
some guys have been hitting me up they've been asking me for your rate card. I'm like, he doesn't collect money.
He asking for what?
They've been asking for your rate card. So like, you know what a rate card is?
No.
Okay, so your rate card is, if you're offering a service, that's your rate card is how much people should pay you.
Oh yeah, no. Got you. Yeah, no.
So they've been asking for this, and I'm like, oh, it doesn't collect money. They're like, oh, so all the guys you've been putting on this channel, you're not paying for them. No. I'm not paying.
This is why I just spoke with Kel yesterday. Actually, me and Kel have been chopping it up. I'm gonna do some stuff with her 2023, either radio side with her or on the channel side with me. And we just talked about this all last night. Yeah. So if you guys don't know how the channel works, primarily what we do is I have a quality team that you can tag on Twitter directly. If you send it to me on IG, it'll probably sit in my inbox for a year, and then eventually I'll forward it to quality because I have 7,000 unread emails that I don't fucking get to. But essentially the quality team goes to listen to the music ahead of time to make sure that it will score well, because I don't want to put something on the channel that I'm going to shit on. You know what I mean? My goal is not to bring negativity to an artist. I'd much rather bring you guys shit that I enjoy than something that I'm just going to fucking point out 10,000 things that's wrong with. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's at the point in their career where a reaction will help them. A reaction can very well hurt you if you're not ready for it yet. But yeah, so all that shit's free. You just tag the quality team to listen to the music, put it on the reaction channel list, and eventually I'll fucking get to it. I'm getting better with organizing shit. I still owe a lot of fucking battles that I want to fucking cover and shit. Like there's a lot of stuff, but yeah, don't worry about that. And if you pay for a reaction, you're still gonna get the score that you get. So offer money at your own peril. Like don't be mad at me if you like, hey Steve, let me cash app you real quick, and then you get shit on. Like that's not my fault. That's your fault at that point. Like I don't
imagine paying to get roasted.
I could like my channel's not set up for paid promo. Like it would be like, you know what I'm saying? Like it would be real weird. I've done I told her I have over 1,100 videos. I've done less than 20 reactions I've been paid to do. And the reactions that I get paid to do, I tell you in the very beginning in the intro, this person reached out to me. They gave me money to jump the list, essentially, because they don't want to wait for me to get to their music. They just like, no, I want this out right now. Like I said, the same, yo, actually, I just had this conversation with the Genius too, because he was trying to shit on me for not getting enough of the battles covered and shit like that. And I'm like, yo, you don't pay for none of this shit. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, unless you're paying me, like, you don't get to determine when I get to something. I get to it when I can get to it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so like don't ever worry about that type of shit. It's just about tapping in with the music and the battles and shit. That's all.
Yeah.
So yeah, no rate cards. That's it, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all.
Chill. You know, I didn't get to introduce myself at the beginning.
You didn't get to do what?
I didn't get to introduce myself.
All right, go ahead. Introduce yourself. I'm gonna cut this out. Go ahead.
I'm going to cut this out. Wow. All right. Hi guys. I'm Tochi. I'm an A&R. I'm a talent manager, and I'm an all-round music executive. I'm still growing, but no, I don't want to add that. Let me do this again. Hi guys. I'm Tochi. I'm an A&R and talent manager, and I love hip hop.
I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I will catch y'all. 2023 is gonna be lit.